She works at Gates Barbecue, and we just got
Oh,
to
wow.
talking, and she was telling me about her story, about how she was the first female firefighter. And I'm like, it's incredible that I haven't even heard your name, and I would love to just get it out there so people know a little piece of Kansas City history here.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about her history. What inspired her to really go out for the fire department?
So she told me that it really just came from a place of wanting to support her family. She was a single mother, and she found her way into the department. She started there as a clerk typist and worked her way up to firefighter. At the time, of course, this was something that was so taboo, right? Being in KCK, being a woman having this title. And so she reached out to who you see in the story. His name is Granville O'Neill. At the time, he was a driver, and then he moved up and became a battalion chief. He trained her, and it definitely wasn't an easy road. She took a couple tests. At first, she passed, or she failed rather first, and then eventually passed, and that's how she earned the title. So it's a story of adversity for sure.
Yeah, and tell us a little bit more about her. When you were interviewing her, what did you get from her? How was her personality? How was her strength? Speak a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I think my biggest takeaway for sure, I could tell that it's still so emotional for her so many years later because she never shared her story publicly. And I could tell, even though in the story she talked a lot about the obstacles that she had overcome, I could tell that she still didn't feel comfortable telling the full extent of all that she went through and how hard it was for her and the way she was treated by her colleagues. And so I could just feel that it was just very raw for her, but I could also see that it was very therapeutic for her to be able to be so vulnerable in sharing this.
And you did this in honor of Black History Month, but
Correct.
also it is Women's History Month. You talked
Right.
about those obstacles. Tell me a little bit more about what she said, what she felt comfortable sharing.
Yeah, so she spoke about how being both Black and a woman just made it really difficult for her to feel accepted. But she said more than anything, and some of the other men who I spoke to as well that she worked with shared that more than anything, people just weren't ready for a female firefighter. And so she said she felt as if her gender was the biggest obstacle that she had to hop over in order to get to where she is now.
Yeah, and I think I'm looking at the web story right now, and I think what sticks out to me the most was this part right here. My first call, there was poop in my boots. When she said that, how did you feel?
I had to actually, I cut that part out where I had to do a double take. I was like, poop? You mean human feces? And she was just like, yeah. And afterwards, you could see in the story, she had said, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that. I mean,
Right.
and I think that really only scratched the surface with how cruel people were to her at that time in her life. And we still don't even know the extent of everything that she experienced. But the fact that she was able to somehow push through that and didn't retire until 2011. She joined in 1992, didn't retire until 2011. So, she had a very long run and somehow was still able to come out on the other side of it. So it was super inspiring to me.
And just in this video here, you can see her resilience. You can see just how strong she is, and she's willing to share her story. So I think that she deserves this moment, and I think she's probably very happy that you even shared her story because, like you said, you didn't even know who she was. You didn't know her name. So again, where can people find this story, Nydja, and learn more about her story?
Yes, so if you would like to watch the full story, it is currently up on our website, KCTV5.com. I encourage you to check it out. It's a very insightful story, and I hope that other people walk away from this just as inspired as I was.
A great one. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Nydja,
thanks for having
taking
me.
us behind the story.
Yes.